Good day and welcome to SynerChi Organics Blood Detoxifying Session here. My name is Etan Ducasse and this is Kiara Ducasse, and we welcome all of you to enjoy and indulge in some different kind of knowledge this evening. We're hoping you get a chance to interact with us and give us some feedback on it, and here we go. Yes.
Good evening, all you beautiful souls. Welcome to the magical evening. As we all know, it is a lunar eclipse this evening in Aquarius, but Etan is more clued up on the etheric side of this information, so he will speak a bit more about blood detoxification and blood cleansing in that perspective tonight, and that'll be Etan's little section. My little section will be from a physical perspective, and I'll be talking more along the lines of the nutrients and foods and fasting, and maybe we might have one guest or so that you may want to welcome at some point later this evening, and we'll have a little bit of fun. But for now, the evening is going to be all about blood detoxification and natural ways to cleanse the blood, learning to love your body, how long it takes to clean your blood, what supplements, foods, nutrition, etc. one can use, the mindfulness aspect, and of course the benefits of blood cleansing, and how to use blood cleansing to detox your organs that are necessary to assist with your blood detoxing. So I guess let's discuss and tell us a little bit about the Aquarius moon and the energies tonight.
Well, beautiful energy and emotion coming out of tonight, and since Aquarius is related to the flow of our blood, we felt it relevant to express information. So when we relate to the flow of the blood, we obviously think heart, and yes, from an astrological perspective, the Sun and Leo relate to the heart, as above so below. Of course we understand that, but the flow thereof is Aquarian ruled, and we start to find a sense of balance when we see things like dry skin or too much saturation in the skin happening, along with Aquarius relating to sodium chloride and it producing hydrochloric acid naturally within the bloodstream, therefore transporting beautiful energies all throughout each and every one of our cells. It relates to the flow through each and one of those cells. So Aquarius relating to that as an energy perspective, yes. It also fundamentally activates our neural activity. Obviously the flow is related to motion, so we want to understand that cleansing our blood is a very important thing on a daily basis, because it is the flow of our very essence, our life. So yeah, that's just a little perspective on the esoteric side of things, but yes, Kiara, on to you.
So do you think it's a good idea to use mindfulness and mindfulness practice to assist in using methods to detox the blood as well? Things like yoga perhaps, and meditation?
When we relate to blood flow, we obviously want to get the heart generating. So mindfulness when doing exercise, for myself, we do yoga practices in the morning. That's a good way to start to flow the bloodstream, getting a great balance. That's exactly what the outcome of yoga needs to be, is balance of both hemispheres of the brain and the body. But we also do calisthenics training, as I'm sure some of you know, and that takes a lot of mindfulness, as Kiara is relating to. And when we set intention going forward with exercises like this, it can become more empowering. So people that are suffering from high blood pressure, low blood pressure, things like this that are relating to our heart as well as our bloodstream, It's always good to get exercise a couple of times a week. And yoga is a fantastic way to start that because it's easy to do. You could do it inside your home, so all excuses aside. And quite literally, you can put on a 30-minute video and indulge in some nice breathing activities, which will help generate oxygen in the bloodstream, which is also very important for blood cell development.
That's very interesting, yeah. I suppose beginners would be a good idea to maybe look at 10-15 minutes, right? Because sometimes it takes a little bit of personal dedication and discipline to get into yoga and enjoy having fun with yoga and learning a little bit about yourself, you know, going within. I suppose Ethan was talking about the spiritual essence of blood and spirit being within the blood and the DNA. So that kind of leads us to start this conversation and how blood detoxification works really. There's multiple different ways of blood detoxification. I suppose the first and best way to do something like this would be to, of course, prevent or limit the amount of use of cigarettes, alcohol, fast foods, foods that are genetically modified or have any preservatives or flavorants in them, and understanding this process, it would be a good idea to look at things like water detoxification as well, because obviously our bodies are made up of water, and this assists us and our blood in passing through the livers and the kidneys, which of course are where the blood is cleaned and then passed through. So I suppose we could also look into fasting in this situation. Would you like to talk a little bit about fasting here?
So fasting is seems to be a hot topic lately, and I would suggest doing a bit of your own research and indulging in a little bit of a lengthy time between your meals, simply because that's another way to have the blood be cleansed in a sense. So much so to the point where if we're stuffing our faces full of food several times a day, our stomach and our system is obviously going through that production period, and what happens is those nutrients are passing through our bloodstream, and it doesn't really give it enough time for too much oxygen in the bloodstream, as well as the right nutrients being transported into the right areas of the body. So when we see the fact that too much acidity in the body can definitely start to cause ailments and aches, and from a long-term perspective, we start to see dis-ease within the body, which is broken down is the inner harmony within ourselves is a little bit out of balance, and we need to look at gaining rebalance in terms of that sense. But from an acidic perspective, Kiara, I mean, what kinds of foods can we look out for, on the shelves? I mean, what kind of ingredients in store that are going to trigger these kinds of reactions in the body?
So I guess maybe we could look at ourselves as an example. We start the day with, of course, fasting. By fasting, we mean not necessarily having nothing, but we mean just starting the day off with a glass of water. Setting the day off with a glass of water, of course, cleans the blood, and this is, of course, a fresh glass of water, cleans the blood and gets the immune system kick-started for the morning, especially if the water is cold. Warm water, not so much, of course, because your system is already warm. So the best idea would be to start the morning like that, and then it kind of gets your stomach going. So you may flush out in a little while or so, but after that we do a little bit of yoga, and then we look to have things like a shot of apple cider vinegar, which is blood detoxifying as well as immune boosting. It helps to clean skin, and it of course helps to eliminate unwanted bacteria within the gut, producing strong, healthy gut bacteria as well. when you minimize the amounts of unhealthy toxins that you invite into the body, you allow the body's system to regenerate and recover a little bit. This assists the body in cell regeneration. So the idea is to take things like green juices or things that assist the body in the morning, helping the body to alkalize. You help the body alkalize, you help the body function, its immune system function optimally. We tend to start our morning off, as I say, with a shot of apple cider vinegar, and of course some of this delicious Biosol Colloidal Silver. So we're not here to particularly advertise brands today, of course, but just so that you know, in future we will be talking about brands that are doing very exciting things in this country for us and looking after our health. So colloidal silver, okay, blood cleansing. We want to rid our body of heavy metal toxins. Okay, now colloidal silver is a heavy metal, but it's not a toxic heavy metal. Of course, if you're consuming copious amounts of the stuff, I mean, I would definitely not suggest having a liter of this every day. I mean, what we have is about a half a shot glass to a full shot glass of this every day, and that starts to draw other heavy metals out the blood. It starts to loosen them up a little bit within the bloodstream, and then you start to use things like a multiple superfood ingredient that have things like diatomaceous earth, fulvic acid, which then bind the heavy metals within the bloodstream. After then you consume things like water, green juice, etc., that can naturally help assist in flushing the blood. Flushing the blood means pushing the blood through the liver and the kidneys. We then need to detox and cleanse the liver. How do we do that?
Well, there's many varying ways of doing that, and not too many people know, but there's a varying amount of stages to a detox. So most of our greens definitely do the majority of the detoxing out of the liver and the kidneys, just to keep that flow of nourishment going within the body. But we add things like ginger and things like grapefruit. Beetroot is an amazing way to phase 2 liver detox, where it extracts all those heavy metals and toxins and it discharges it out of the body just naturally. This is a brave piece of insight, but if ever you had to brave juicing onions and take you a shot glass of that, you'll definitely feel a large part of you and your heart and the insides become inflamed, and over the next couple of days you could definitely feel a draw out of toxins, and obviously those are expelled. But in terms of energy wise, we can definitely feel a lot more of vigor running through our systems. Yes, definitely. So when we relate to that, we can also balance out the bloodstream with the sodium chloride with things like almonds, carrots, beetroots, and things like herbs like borage, buckwheat, mustards, oregano, thyme. Things like this will definitely fill the system with the right nourishment, and we don't get too much of water or too little of water. It's just a balance between the two, and that's definitely the objective when we are taking in nourishments. We always want to have balance. So there we go, you are back on. Please excuse that, I don't know what happened there, but anyway, on to you. Yeah, what are the...
So thank you, Luna Shanti, for mentioning coconut water. Coconut water definitely is a phenomenal blood cleanser as well. It's obviously made from the water of coconuts. It has natural sugars, which are electrolytes, and help the blood produce stronger mechanisms for building new blood. Miss Tanya Crane, you asked about yoga and mindfulness with regarding to going deeper within self. Yes, without a doubt, we do things like sun gazing, and we have quietness in the morning time, and we don't talk to one another. We allow absorption of our own energies and frequencies in connection with the sun, because this is what rising energy is. So I hope that answers your question. But this will lead on to our next topic, in terms of knowing if and when you know you need to learn to detox. So first of all, you would obviously start to feel very fatigued or sluggish. You could have things like irritable skin or acne. You may have some types of allergies or low-grade infections. May have bloating, menstrual problems, or mental confusion. Now, with regards to mental confusion, and more specifically mental confusion and being sluggish, this comes into effect. These are the most dominant side effects of having toxic blood. So it is very important to obviously clean the blood on a regular basis. So it's not an overnight process, it's an everyday process to clean the blood. You need to make sure that you are living your life as clean as possible, in as many ways as possible every single day. So all you need to do is you need to live your life organic, okay, and making sure that you get the highest quality nutrients, foods, fruits and vegetables, and you're either juicing these or you're consuming these raw. Of course, cooking them destroys the natural bacteria, which also aids in healthy gut bacteria production, which then helps the body clean blood better. So maybe Etan could talk a little bit about hemp and hemp protein and how this works for cleaning the blood with cacao.
Oh, absolutely beautiful topic. But before I go on to hemp, one of my favorite topics, of course, still sun gazing. What happens when we watch the sun rise or when we watch the sun set? We are receiving direct minerals, all the minerals that we need to help balance out our body. So in other words, we nourishing our souls. And what happens is when we receive that light in both hemispheres of our thalamus, and it hits the pineal gland, obviously it starts to decalcify the pineal gland. And the pineal gland, we cannot emphasize enough, we need to practice mental strength and all that decalcifies our brain and connects us with our higher selves. Let's just put it that way, but also other aspects of this reality and our life. So the pineal gland most certainly balances out all the other hormones, and obviously the blood carries those hormones throughout the system. So if the pineal gland is not operating correctly, the pituitary gland won't, which is the more feminine aspect, which the pineal gland is more the masculine one. We can relate it that way. So that's an important aspect. Sun gazing, please go do some of your own research. People usually recommend doing 5 to 10 seconds a day, stretching that time further and further on. So yeah, just be cautious and be careful, and obviously take your own information into your own hands and put the pieces of the puzzle together yourselves. So now on to beautiful hemp. All of us have an endocannabinoid system. We naturally produce CBD within our system, and that is a beautiful thing, because when we eat products like hemp, what it does is the molecule itself attaches itself to the synapses, which are in our endocannabinoid system. So I'm going to refer to our CB1 and CB2 receptors. CB1 receptors being predominant in our brain and our nervous system, okay, largely controls the neural activity going on, but that is obviously where the master gland, where all the action happens and all the decision making happens from a mental aspect. So the CB2 receptors are predominant in all of our major organs and obviously our immune system as a whole, to balance it out. So when we eat hemp protein powder, we are getting a high source of fiber, high source of protein, between 30 and 50%, depending on where it comes from. But this is a natural source of protein. Most meat eaters or people, that, let's say, discriminate against vegans say, hey, you guys are lacking in your protein. That is so far from the truth, because cows eat
Hey
Yeah.
guys, so sorry about that. Our reception seems to just keep messing up a little bit. South African Wi-Fi, but anyways, so it's on. You were
Yes.
talking about him.
Yeah, so most certainly. So when we eat hemp as a protein and as a good source of omegas and essential. There we go. There we go. Please excuse us. There's a connection that keeps coming in and out. So, yeah, I hope you're getting some bits of information. But if not, then just give us some feedback. Yes, I love that, Luna. That's amazing. The removal of fluoride completely for optimal pineal health. Yes, at least you are on point with where we're going. So please excuse that side. But yeah, protein. Going back to protein. I mean, when we have hemp protein, also once again balancing out the immunity, and literally it's helping the blood flow a lot more because it's transporting the right nourishment, which are the omegas, which closely relate to the CB1 and CB2 receptors in our system. So when they're attached to that, they're firing regularly, they're communicating chemical messages, and just wondrous things are happening. So give it a go, all for yourselves. Yeah, and you'll start to see that there is a major difference in your energy levels going forward. Love that as well. Hey, so cacao, Kieran.
So you guys are all, as you are doing, you're welcome to ask questions as we go along. We'll answer them as we go along. We are reading them. Anything you want to know, of course, anything we need to recap on, we'll continue. If we do hit a time limit with a Facebook webinar, then we will have to restart this again and continue a little second phase of it. So for now we're going to talk about cacao. Raw cacao or cacao beans are mostly grown in South America and Africa, and they are about the size of a 2 rand coin, and basically it is one of the most beautiful superfoods on this planet, because when you eat cacao, first of all, it makes you very happy. It releases dopamine in the brain, which allows for happy endorphins to float, and that's kind of why we do a little bit of cacao and maca with the hemp hearts in this product. This is called Happy Hearts. We like to name our products after fun, funky products and just happy names, because we believe in the fact that superfoods work for cleaning the body, the mind, and the blood and the spirit, really. So the idea for cacao is that it builds blood, allowing more oxygen uptake into the blood, and essentially by doing this you're allowing oxidation to take process within the body. And now oxidation is a whole different story on its own, and that will be a future webinar, of course. But for now, oxidation needs to be balanced, and eating raw cacao, cacao powder, cacao beans on a daily basis is actually very good for you. It helps with blood pressure, it helps cleaning the blood, and it helps build new blood, and it helps oxidate blood. And oxidation means keeping you young and beautiful. So let's look at how we will start a detox. So as we said in the beginning of this, of course you're going to look at lightening your toxin load. This would mean eliminating alcohol, cigarettes, unhealthy saturated fats, fast foods, foods that contain preservatives and E ingredients. Now, E ingredients is also another topic for another day. Oh my gosh, the amount of poison that is in the foods on the shelves in the shops. If you can please understand that all we will speak about on this channel is complete disclosure about beautiful health and wellness, because it's our belief that everybody has the right to know about this. So, looking at other obstacles around being able to clean your blood and keeping your environment clean. A detox doesn't just mean blood, even though the topic tonight is blood detox. Blood detox means that you can absorb toxins through the skin also. which means that you need to, of course, consider things like air pollution and how much pollution you're getting, the clothes that you're wearing, where the clothes are made, how the clothes are made, what chemicals you're using to wash your clothes with. So look for things that are more natural, things that are Mother Gaia, earth friendly. Isn't that what we're all about? Isn't that what we essentially deep down inside would like to share with everyone? Think of things like your shampoo, your cosmetics, your deodorants, face products. The detox goes beyond just things that we consume and things we don't consume, really. So the idea is to make sure that you're reading, most importantly, reading the ingredients that are on the products that you're using. If you don't know them or don't understand the product or it doesn't sound like a plant or a botanical, why are you even using it? Ask yourself that question. Be true to yourself, because only you are lying to yourself if you continue to use products that are continuously damaging you physically and mentally. It also, when we have too many toxins in the blood, it becomes a hindrance on hormones and hormone balance. So another very, very beautiful product, as Etan mentioned earlier, the one is a tissue salt. However, this is a tissue salt in a water form, and this is called MMS. You can't really see it properly, but MMS is called multi-mineral solution, and MMS is sodium chloride. Now, sodium chloride needs to be activated by something called hydrochloric acid. Now, hydrochloric acid is a very, very beautiful product, and when you add these two products together in a combination, okay, in a 1-to-1 ratio, these products, one, clean your water of Hey guys, sorry for that disruption again, but we are going to make sure that we get as much information in as possible while we continue to talk with you here. We will shortly introduce a friend of ours who has been working at BioCell, a beautiful company built by Yvonne and the likes of Sean, who have been looking at botanicals and plants and roots, herbs and foods that go beyond what we actually understand as nutrients and minerals. And as Etan explained earlier on, that is exactly why vegans tend to eat the plants directly, because the nutrients and the minerals that the body needs and are easily bioavailable are from plants. That's why animals eat plants mostly. Okay.
So, yeah, go for it. There's some questions popping through, so while he's coming. Sean, so green tea, how many cups of green tea do we drink a day? Wow. We usually start off the morning with a cup, usually on an empty stomach. Some people don't work too well. Hello, Sean. Welcome.
This is Sean here.
Hey,
Sean is from Gaia Designs. This is his own company.
And BioCell, yeah.
And BioCell, of course. And of course, we will be talking about BioCell. We have showed you a few of their stuff this evening. And yeah, Sean, maybe tell us a little bit about your experience with things like zeolite and diatomaceous earth.
Okay, awesome. Well, firstly, guys, thank you so much for letting me be a part of this video. You guys are doing really great work, and it's so beautiful to see, and I hope to be a part of more of these, and yeah, awesome stuff.
Thank you, Sean.
So yeah, my journey with cleaning myself up, I guess, eh?
That's it.
Started learning about the pineal gland that you guys have mentioned quite a few times here tonight, and it led me to finding the products blue-green algae, our beautiful spirulina, coriella, as well as the zeolite. And zeolite is such a wonderful special product, because not only is it taking these heavy metals out of your body, but it's also placing finer metals, like you mentioned, getting silver into the body through the colloidal silver. It's also placing other metals like calcium and in parts where you want the calcium, as well as iron, and also great to detox the body of worms and parasites, but most importantly getting all those heavy metals out.
Pathogens, right? Is what we want out of the blood.
Get them out, man. Get them out.
So, you know, of course, these are all just nice, beautiful, natural foods that we can add to smoothies, juices, fruit salads, nicely cooked meals throughout the day, whatever it is you want to eat. I mean, some of these products come in encapsulated products, some of them come as powders, foods, and some of them come to add to drinks and water, like the MMS. We use the MMS on a daily basis. However, of course, with anything in life, it is absolutely beautiful and important to understand that even the body, using these beautiful nutrients and minerals, needs to be able to cycle them. Yeah, this is
The go.
Hey guys, very disruptive here with the connection. Okay, so Etan wanted to talk to us a little bit about something.
Yeah, there was some essential oils and obviously coconut oil brought up earlier. A lot of people don't realize it, but gums is a really, really good way to extract some toxins from the bloodstream. So what we could do is we could mix some virgin coconut oil together with some black activated charcoal and a light essential oil such as mint. But obviously you want to do your research before to know the parts of drops. I would recommend 1 or 2 drops per 500 or even going up to a liter, so the taste is very little there. But once you brush your teeth from this, obviously you're completely eliminating the fluoride that's in the regular toothpaste these days, but also at the same time you're extracting those heavy metals, and it's a good way to obviously spit it out, please excuse me, but that's exactly it. Plants actually absorb quite nice to this, so yeah, that's one way of doing it. Yes,
Coconut oil pulling, that's
Yes.
lovely. And of course, if you don't like the flavor of that too much, you could always add a little bit of wintergreen essence in the coconut oil, and that helps with the flavor, and it tastes great. Leaves the mouth feeling fresh, clean, and minty.
Yeah.
Anybody want a kiss? No. Okay, guys, so I suppose you would like to look at what detox would be right for you. So it would be best to say that there is no particular detox that is right for one individual person. One should experiment with the feelings associated with specific detoxing. Now, the purpose of detoxing is to, of course, go one stage at a time. Thank you, Luna, for activated charcoal.
and bicarb soda, yes, yeah, that was the other ingredient in that concoction. Also a good way. Yes, bicarb soda detox.
That's very true. So you could do things like simple fruit and veggie detoxes, smoothie detoxes, juicing detoxes, sugar detoxes, alcohol detoxes. Does that sound like a possibility? Yes, I think so.
Definitely.
I think that's a heavy toxin to be facing whenever one faces that. You know? I love not drinking alcohol because I wake up feeling fantastic on a daily basis. How do you guys feel?
Dude, you're
Damn.
amazing.
So, the idea is to obviously do a little bit of research on the fruits that you're eating. We can, of course, tell you lots and lots of beautiful things over the course of these webinars, and we will share as much information as possible, but it's also good for you to do some research yourselves on simple fruit and veggie detoxes, what products you could add, how to detox properly with water, how to do fasting. As an example, we have been doing a little bit of intermittent fasting, which is fasting from 8 o'clock in the evening right through to midday, 12 o'clock the following day. Of course, you could have water and tea in these times. Once we break fast, which is what breakfast means and stands for, then we break fast with the apple cider vinegar, colloidal silver, the green juices. Then we'll have a green tea at some point after that. We'll look at fruits that are more light on the stomach and easy to digest. Now remember, your fruits have natural bacteria in them as well, again, which will boost natural gut bacteria. If you have a good immune system, you will feel energized and your blood will continue to clean. Now, Etan was talking a little bit about liver and kidney earlier on, and we look at things like grapefruit to detox the liver and the kidney. Maybe you could tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've all had our glasses of beetroot juice with ginger. Ginger is a natural anti-inflammatory, which also helps the blood flow, circulatory flow happen a little bit more efficiently. But yeah, when it comes to beetroot, it obviously draws out those toxins out of the liver and it dispels it. But when we go into more of looking at diseases and how to maintain detoxing as well as antioxidizing the bloodstream, we've touched a little on tonight, we will soon. But you know, when we talk about disease in the body, things like cancers and MS, like chronic illnesses and things like that, you know, it's more of a touchy subject in the maintenance there of our acidity levels within the body. So we obviously want to be more alkaline, but obviously balanced as such. Now, we can go to the extreme and say that on a weekly basis we're going to be doing, you know, carrots, a carrot and ginger diet for this week, and we're only going to do a detoxifying from that perspective. Now, cancer patients, I'm going to recommend that they do juicing more often than not, and any of you as well looking to lose a little bit of weight or just gain a little bit more energy and a little bit more nourishment, because what happens when we eat a whole fruit bowl, you know, it's one way to do it, it's a really healthy way and it keeps us full for a while, but it does have those fibers in it, and you know, our stomach and our system takes a long time to break it down, plus we have to pass it through our system. So when we switch over to juicing those exact those fruits and veggies, there's a variety of them. You can literally take all those nourishments and efficiently pass it through the bloodstream and body throughout the course of the day. So that's one way to keep the body in a state of acidity. Add lemon to a lot of alkaline. So add lemons to it a lot of the time. And we also look at wanting to go to the next level, which is coffee enemas. And, you know, very few people would consider that. But, you know, when we're dealing with more serious diseases and disharmonies within the body, you know, it's a consideration to go to a colon hydrotherapist and actually get one of those done. What it does is it stimulates the liver so much so to the point where it actually does a full bowel release, and that's blood cleansing to the absolute maximum as well. Now, the key ingredient is coffee, obviously, and we don't want to go and get our processed coffees. Obviously, we want to get it as natural as possible. So just be careful there, and things like this can be done by themselves as well. And also with the bloodstream flowing properly within the system, especially when we're healing most, which is in our sleep. So when we go to a dreamland at night, that's where our cerebral spinal fluid gets stimulated, it's activated, and it's now cleansing out everything from that perspective, from an esoteric perspective. So what now happens is we can turn off things like Wi-Fi or our cell phones, turn them onto airplane mode, completely, like leave them away from your bedside table, and we can start to see balance come within. So how does this relate to blood detoxifying? I'm saying that radiation in the air, obviously we are made up of all those particles, and that's carrying all throughout our system. So once again, there's many varying ways in which we can look at blood health.
Penetrates the skin. Sean, tell us a bit about your beautiful EMF busters that we have everywhere around our house. You know, we feel much more energized with them around us.
Of course. Well, just getting onto the whole aeroplane mode, just simply by turning your cell phone onto aeroplane mode, people are saying immediate effects of better sleep, feeling more energized the next day, and that's simply by just not having this device next to your head while you sleep, radiating unharmonious frequencies for the body. So basically the organoids that, I mean, a lot of people are developing all around the world, especially in Europe and America at the moment, and they're doing an organoid movement, to drop orgonite around cell phone towers, and just to try harmonize and combat these harmful frequencies and put out a more harmonious frequency with the human body. So yeah, the orgonite we develop and I use is crystal filings, crushed crystals, metal filings, iron powders, certain iron, copper liquids that it goes through a whole process to become a copper liquid, and it's all set into a resin, and that hardening around the crystals squeezes them a lot like actually a computer chip works, and releases a lot of negative ions which charge us positively.
That is beautiful, Sean. Thank you. And that's exactly
one of our pendants.
That's exactly it. It's a pendant. I've been wearing it around my necklace, feeling it's absolutely amazing and energized. And yeah, I'm sure you've seen a post recently on my page. I posted something special that came from this gentleman here about a pyramid, and you know, that angular wise can also be harmonizing for the body, especially when we're looking at a sunrise or a sunset, and having those things in our presence. Yes.
Yeah,
so
we'll get them up on the website soon. I mean, I'm developing the website from my side, but I'm sure we can get them up on the Biostore on your guys' website for sure.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. Etan, I just wanted to ask you, how come this is not in the moonlight tonight? So, by the way, speaking of that, if any of you have any stones or anything, any beautiful gems or whatever, they should be charging in the moonlight tonight, especially considering that it's full moon, and a very important full moon. I suppose every full moon is, but of course, leave them in the moonlight tonight on a nice piece of paper, and tomorrow take them away at sunset, absolute latest, because you don't want the moon starting to go back to a new moon phase in that energy. Yes?
No, so I see there's a comment from Anna. Thank you very much. Yeah, slow eating is another form of having the digestive system work through those nutrients a lot more. And obviously, the slower we eat, the fuller we feel through, half our dish or whatever. So we end up eating a lot less. And this is sort of where we are driving superfoods, because, we used to fast foods in which we shove, and there's too much eating happening, too much processing, and literally our spiritual essence cannot process its own way of thinking. Therefore, we're in a state of acidity. So yeah, it's kind of interesting to apply superfoods to your diet. Eat or make smoothies in the evening. Obviously, as soon as the sun starts setting, melatonin in our brain starts kicking in, and we start to ease off a lot more, calm down, and obviously resonate with the energies around us. So our digestive system is a lot slower already. Now, some of us exercise in the evening and feel the need to shove protein. You can do that in a tiny cup of smoothie, and I promise you it will last you to the end of the evening. Most people feel the first growl in their stomach, and they're like, oh my gosh, I need to eat. Oh my gosh, I need to eat. So it's like also a form of mindfulness and mind control, control of our emotions. And that's exactly right, Sean, discipline. Wait until the morning, because I promise you, you're going to wake up in the morning not really feel hungry. So most of us eat out of habit rather than anything else. Okay, I have to get up and I've got to eat breakfast before I head to work, kind of thing. So, in instances like that, pack your breakfast and stretch it out. Cleanse your blood with some water. Just know that you can also overwater your bloodstream. So that sodium chloride also helps balance that out once again. So overwatering the bloodstream is not also a good thing,
because it thins the blood out. So in terms of high blood pressure or low blood pressure and sugar levels, of course, over detoxification is also a problem. So just take cognizance if you're feeling a little bit lethargic or nauseous, or low blood pressure or anything like that. You could be over detoxing. Just have a little bit of something like a fruit or something like that, and you should set your blood levels and adrenal levels back to normal. Guys, so we need to talk about the best foods and herbs that you can look to cleanse the body as well. I'm going to quickly run through a few of them, and then we have a few minutes left if any of you want to ask any questions or anything like that, and then we'll of course set you free on this beautiful, lovely evening. So first of all, one is garlic. Garlic is a very, very good remedy for cleansing the blood because it contains sulfur, which helps to eliminate toxins within the blood. It is also antimicrobial and helps the blood purification process through eliminating any viruses that may be appearing or not appearing.
So fresh garlic.
Fresh garlic.
And it's at the end of your meal, right at the very last moment.
This is true, and garlic and onions, like Ethan was talking about earlier on, are probably one of your most nutrient-dense superfoods on this planet because they contain minerals and nutrients that most foods don't, and in very high concentrations. So, that's why they have such strong terpene odors, and of course you need to, they're a little bit hot and peppery, etc. But those are very good for antimicrobial, etc. You need to look at things like leafy greens like broccoli, kale, spinach, Brussels sprouts, any of those kinds of chlorophyll type products. So we use products like wheatgrass or spirulina or chlorella that are almost 100% protein. First of all, they're natural sources. They're easily absorbable into the stomach and into the blood, and they help build natural blood cells and white blood cells, which is what we want to help.
There you go.
Okay, you beautiful souls. So we're going to talk about our next herb that you would like to eat. It is in this product from Natural Solutions. This product is called Blood. It contains dandelion root, dandelion leaf, and a whole other bunch of products that I'm not going to get into too much right now. We want to focus and speak a little bit about dandelion. Because dandelion obviously helps to detoxify and cleanse the body. It's a rich source of vitamins A, B, C, and K, which are essential for healthy blood. Dandelion also helps to cleanse and squeeze those toxins out the kidney and liver. So, of course, it is important to flush the kidney and the liver because that's where the toxins are stored, right? We have burdock, which is also a product in this, and burdock is an ancient traditional Chinese medicine that is used for promoting blood circulation, and it also has a whole bunch of flushing properties as well as reduction in inflammation. It also contains red clover, which is of course a very good multi-mineral, multivitamin and multi-nutrient supplement, which will help build up blood and reduce waste within the blood. Like we mentioned, apple cider vinegar earlier on, we don't need to go too much into that, but beetroots are also very good for cleaning the blood and of course increasing the amount of energy and oxygen that the blood is then able to produce, which of course then gives us in the effect or entourage effect, let's call it that, for energy and healthy oxidation within the blood. Turmeric. Oh gosh, turmeric is a beautiful product. So turmeric is more specifically known for its compound curcumin. This is a beautiful product for anti-inflammation and blood cleansing. Now, if we understand that curcumin is a product that helps to also attach heavy metals and toxins to the blood, and by reducing inflammation, you reduce the harmful effects of
internet here. There we go. Now we're back on. Thank you all. 5 minutes.
Okay, so cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper helps, has got a terpene called capsicum, which is obviously chili, and this helps to help the blood flow a lot better in the body. You can use things like parsley, blueberries, which are rich in antioxidants. As a blood cleanser, you definitely need lots of fiber to help boost the immune system in the body, to help get rid of these detoxification, these heavy metals and these waste products. You can also use things like cat's claw, which cleans out your urine a little bit more and is a bit more of a diuretic. Ginger is also good for as an antioxidant, also has very powerful anti-turmeric, and it has a very positive effect on the gastrointestinal system. Lemon, and of course water. So as you can see, we need to obviously look at a lot of different products that can assist us, but for the rest of this beautiful evening, it is time that we would love for you to go and enjoy the beautiful energy of this full moon and its ether, with all the empowering knowledge that you have. May you take this knowledge for the benefit of all, as well as benefit of yourself on this beautiful Mother Gaia. From myself, I say thank you very much. Love and light and peace to you all.
Thanks so much for joining, guys. Love and enjoy the beautiful energy of the evening. And I'll see you soon.
From my part, I want to thank you all very much for allowing us to serve you this evening. That's truly the most important part. We want to be able to get your minds in the state where you are getting the right nourishment in your system. So bless that energy going forward here, and obviously the Aquarian full moon is going to help that energy all flow throughout. So from our side, please go and share the love some more. We truly appreciate all your efforts and your time on here and your feedback. We're going to read through some of the comments here. But yeah, much love and light. Namaste and stay beautiful.
Peace. Thank you.